that. Anyway, so let's talk. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. All right? Yes?
I don't know if you remember me, the son of Satan from Anime Fest, Wichita.
Nice to see you, Beelzebub Jr.
I was just wondering, since that time in Wichita, how many times have you told that story of the hairdryer?
Oh, none.
Really?
None.
Well, you mentioned there that you're looking for new stories to tell people.
What's the story? Remind me. Is it the one from Canada?
Yeah, from Edmonton.
Oh. It's not much of a story. Tiffany Grant and I were guests. Tiffany and Matt and I were guests at a convention in Edmonton called Anime-thon. And we got there, come to find out that they had put us up in a dormitory. It was a school dormitory. Well, we're usually in hotels, right? Well, hotels have certain amenities that you just get used to having. For instance, hairdryer. You never think about taking a hairdryer because there's always one in the room. Not in a dormitory. So we got there, and I was getting ready the first day of the con, and hair is just hanging there, and thinking, okay, hairdryer. There's no hairdryer here. And so I'm thinking, Tiffany, she'll have one. So I go outside and go next door to the room they were in. Tiffany opens the door and goes, do you have a hairdryer? And I'm like, oh no, I was coming to see if you did. So we called the guest relations girl who happened to live near the campus, and she went home and got her hairdryer and brought it back. So every morning it would be like, tag team, your turn. And we passed the hairdryer back and forth. Question? Yes.
Okay, I want to give you something. Heard you were a songwriter, so I wrote this and I emailed it to you once, but you liked it.
Oh.
So you liked it, but I don't know if you still do because I'm not really good at it.
I'm sure I do like it.
It's making fun of Mustang.
Does it have a melody to it?
Shaft.
Shaft?
He's the black guy in the corner of the room.
Oh my God. Oh, this is hilarious.
I remember I emailed it to you in the spring. This song.
Yes. Well, let's look through this song she wrote. It's Ed and Al's song to Roy.
It's karaoke. It's karaoke.
And it's to be sung to the tune of Shaft. You know that song? It says, who's the black-haired guy in the corner of the room? And Al smiles, Mustang! And Ed goes, you're damn right. Ed smiled and sang, who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother man? Al smiled and turned, well, that's you, Ed, Al sang. Ed smiled and sang, oh yeah, that's right, he said, smiling. Ed and Al sang together, can you dig it? The crowd was loving it. Ed smiled, who's the cat that will chicken out and will cry his eyes out when there's danger all about? Al danced and sang, Mustang! Ed smiled, right on. Ed sang with a wink. Ed smiled, they say this Roy is a bad mother. Al smiled and acted surprised. Shut your mouth, brother! Ed smiled, but I'm talking about Mustang. Ed and Al sang together, then we can dig it! They said happily. Then Ed took the microphone and bent down on the stage. He's a complicated man, but no one understands him but his woman. Al winked, Hawkeye! And the crowd went crazy with laughs and cheers. That's awesome! Can I keep it?
Yes, that's for you.
I want you to sign it. Give me your autograph. Oh, thank you. Are these my credentials?
Okay.
Or the key to your room? This is for you, sweet.
Yep.
Question? Yes.
I was wondering what high school was like for you.
What high school was like for me? Wow. Let's see. 1839. I went to school with Abraham Lincoln. Did you do it?
Yeah.
Thank you, sweetie. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Have the Sharpie?
put it on the desk.
Oh, thank you. I loved high school. I went to high school in South Carolina. I went to a boarding school in South Carolina. And I loved high school. In fact, my uncles all went away to college. And I was kind of jealous that they got to go away and have this big adventure away from home. And so I said to my mom, can I go away to school? And she was like, well, if you really want to, I'll check and see how young they will allow you to board in the dormitories at this school in South Carolina. Sure enough, they let you board in 9th grade, 14 years old. So I went down to this school when I was 14 and lived in the dormitories with college-age guys. I was picked on mercilessly, as you can imagine, right? How many of you are in college? Can you imagine having a 14-year-old roommate in the dormitory? That's what it was like. And they beat on me and teased me and gave me a hard time, made me do all their chores, that kind of stuff. But I loved high school. You know why? Because you know what a great question. No one's ever asked me that question before. And you know what I'm thinking now as I talk about it? High school was where I came to know what I loved and where my talents were. I didn't start playing the piano until I was 17. I stumbled across the fact that I had this gift in music that God had given me. I didn't study it. I didn't plan for it. It was just a natural ability, like I'm sure all of you have certain natural gifts, whether it's drawing or singing or painting or acting or dancing or whatever. And so I started doing a lot of theater in high school as well. And I did a lot more singing, and I started writing songs and playing the piano, all in high school when I was away at boarding school. So high school were very pivotal years for me. It's where I found a lot of the things that, thanks for coming, that God had given me the opportunity to do. Question?
First, I want to pass on a message from mutual friend Michael. He says hi, and he's sorry he can't be here.
Oh, you tell Michael I said sorry you can't be too. Listen.
Yeah, he's taking care of a party. But my question is, what's your most favorite stage production that you've been in?
Wow. My favorite stage production is the question. I like a lot of them. I love musicals. Well, we know what her favorite is. The favorite musical that I ever did was Camelot. And the reason is, even though it's an older one, and I would love to do like Phantom or Les Mis or something like that. I would love to. Jekyll and Hyde, something. But back when I did most of my musicals, it was Oliver and Camelot and West Side Story and Fiddler on the Roof and You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown and Oklahoma. And my favorite was Camelot, because when I went to audition for the show, it was a director that I'd worked with before, and he told me when I walked into the audition, he goes, as far as I'm concerned, you're Lancelot. And I thought, well, you know, I could see that, but that's me normally. I want to act. I want to play Arthur. And he's like, well, you can audition for it if you want. I mean, I'm not going to keep you from auditioning, but I really see you as Lancelot. And so I auditioned my guts out for Arthur, and he cast me as Arthur. And so that's why I have a real special place in my heart for Camelot. Love that show. As far as serious theater, I love The Crucible by Arthur Miller. Amazing show. And I've actually done it twice. I played Proctor the first time, which is the lead character, and then a couple of years later I played Reverend Paris, and which was really neat because when I played Proctor, you get an idea of all the other characters you're working with and how you would do them if you were to play them. Suddenly I'm doing the show again and playing a different character. It was a neat opportunity to do something different. So I've done a lot though, and you know what I'd love to do? I've never played. I'd love to play is Death of a Salesman. I'd love to be in that show. Man, Of Mice and Men, Steinbeck. Yeah, I'd like to do that one too in my spare time. Right?